I have always lived in a small rural community called Chester, Nova Scotia. And when the RCMP did their first press release and said that this horrible act would affect people right across our province, I knew it would hit at people's hearts and their minds and their emotions. But I never dreamt that I would be one of the people that had a connection with two of the victims. So what we came together for as a community was the fact that Peter and Joy Bond used to live in Chester. And I knew them as I was growing up, and Peter lived here all his life, and his family, and Joy was born in Back Bay in New Brunswick, and when she met up with Peter and they got married, their lives were here in the Chester area, and they were always together, holding their hands, and they were very quiet individuals. But you know what? Behind that quietness was a full life. They had two boys, Harry and Corey, and we want people to know about Joy and Peter and Harry and Corey and the rest of the family, that they themselves, like the other victims, had plans in their lives. They've had challenges in their lives. They've overcome frustrations. They worked in the community. They gave back to the community. Peter was involved with our Legion for over 51 years. And the other things that often that we don't hear are those little small things that makes up a person. Like, for example, Joy loved lighthouses. That was one thing she really enjoyed. And she liked hummingbirds. And she loved hearing the song, "How Great Thou Art." So you can start to form in your own mind who this person was. And that the fact is that family was very important to her.
Hello everyone, my name is Jim Henman. I started working on composing Journey at my home in Halifax about 21 years ago. From the very first chord and melody, I experienced this peaceful feeling and a presence of the late John Lennon as I worked on the song. But I had no idea that after Don Harwood-Jones and I got together and completed the composition, that this song would take on a very special meaning to those who have lost a friend or a loved one. And here we are today, remembering those from Wentworth to Enfield, who tragically lost their lives earlier this year. I really hope that this song's message gives a sense of peace and a hope of acceptance in these very difficult times.
Like saying I love you, I always think there's time. Life's a journey, just a journey. You never quite believe that it will end. It's wild and winding. What a journey! You never know what's waiting round the bend. I'll find the courage for forgiving. Who knows what happens when you care? The butterfly that flies in Buenos Aires. To be the breeze someday is it's a journey, just a journey. You'll never quite believe that it will end. It's bright and burning. What a journey! You'll never know what's waiting round the bend. Life's a journey, just a journey. No matter how I try, it's hard to say goodbye. So hard to even try. It's a journey. And so I'll raise a drink to you. And so I'll raise a drink to you, my
With Dad, it was hard love. I mean, it was his way. But to break it down, if Dad wasn't Dad, we wouldn't be the men that we are. So I mean, at the end of the day, he had kids to raise, bills to pay, and he did it. I mean, we can't express how much we miss him. And I say, I'm proud of him to be the father that he was. I mean, we definitely had our days, had our moments, good and bad. But I would do anything I could to bring. If there was something I could do, I would do it to bring him back. But unfortunately, it's not possible. But that's another thing that keeps us going. Is just remember the good times. I don't know if you got something to add or not.
Well, we took after Dad. Dad drove truck, and both of us did the same thing. So it's a great thing to have to remember him by.
Oh, I'm the oldest. Before my time, he drove truck. I remember being a young kid, my brother being a baby, and Dad pulling in the air with a cab over. Then he wanted to be more at home more with us as growing up, so he switched to a different career. And then once we were growing up and basically ready to go on our own, he went back to trucking. We each made some trips with him down through the states, long hauling. I was as far as Georgia with him. It was definitely a different son and dad relationship in the truck. It was at home. Sometimes you couldn't spend 3 days together and you were chewing at one another, and then being in a truck for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, there was no getting away from him or him getting away from you. There wasn't a moment in the truck that I wanted to get away from him. So it was a whole different
Bond.
Yeah, that's the word. His favorite truck was Freightliner. That's I don't know why. He never really said why. It just that was his truck. He see Peterbilt's. He would say, "Well, it's a nice truck, but it's not a Freightliner." And he was in the truck with us. He was happy, but when Mom was in the truck with him and them two was together, he was in his place.
He didn't want to come. Didn't matter when he come home. Then he was just, they were just enjoyed being together.
The best way to describe Mom and Dad, Mom was 70, Dad was 74. They're the same as two 17-year-olds. They went out in public, they were hand to hand walking down the street. Once they were retired and went and bought the retirement home, they didn't go nowhere without the other. And if there's any good out of this, which there isn't, but if you try to take some good out of this, it's the fact that they died together. They're still together. And they will stay together because my brother and I are putting them in an urn together. Mom was the best. She was number one in our eyes. I mean, we were brought up by, like they brought us up. You do not backmouth your mother. If you got something to say, you go to him. If we did backmouth our mother, we knew it. But like I said, it's Mom. Without Mom and Dad, we wouldn't be the men we are. It's not just Dad or just Mom. It's the two of them. They was a team. I mean, Dad was on the road. It was Mom to look after us, and she had her hands full with the two of us. I mean, we wasn't no angels, but for her to do what she did, she raised us. I mean, hats off to her. And I definitely didn't make her life easy, and or neither did Corey, but we did our chores, and I wish both of them were still here, but that's, I mean...
Mom, she loved to cook, and
yeah.
Her lemon meringue pies that she used to make, and pumpkin pies for me, and just all that stuff. Like, she cooked at a lot of places. Hill Cheese when they was open, Rope Loft,
Can Excel,
but always loved her cooking.
To me, that's where she got her joy. It was being with her family, being with her kids, her cooking, and definitely Dad.
And she did collect spoons. She was a spoon collector. When she doing Dad trucking, pretty much every estate or wherever they stopped, she'd have to pick up a spoon.
Oh yeah, if she was missing one place, she'd make sure she had that spoon. Like we divided up between the two of us, and I've got some of the spoon collection home, and he's got some of it. And you go through it. There's a spoon for every place they've been. Like the New Hampshire, New York, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Alabama. There's a spoon for all of them. And some of them, there's even spoons for the towns, like in each state, right? If they went into, like Dad and I was down, we went down past Atlanta, Georgia. We didn't go into Atlanta, but we went past it, so we had to get a spoon that said Atlanta onto it because we went past it for Mom. So we went to Georgia, so we had to have a spoon for Georgia, and it's the memories like that. The last trip that I made with Dad, we stopped in the house for a minute because we picked a load up in Dartmouth and we were supposed to get to Digby to catch the ferry. And I was on the road with him 1 day short of 2 weeks. And he wasn't supposed to, home wasn't scheduled, but we had quite a few hours before we had to catch the ferry. So we would have been sitting in Digby like 5 or 6 hours. So he said, I'm going to stop home. So we stopped home, and it was snowing, and it was in the winter. Mom said, well, I'd like to go. So I jumped in the truck and grabbed my stuff, and I said, go ahead. And I got all my stuff out of the bunk, and Mom said, are you serious? Like, your trip ain't done. I said, well, I've been gone 1 day short of 2 weeks. Like, if you want to go with Dad, I'm not going to stop you. So she got her stuff and jumped in the truck, and like Corey said earlier, that's one of the trips. I do believe they were gone for almost 2 months. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's one of the trips. It was a long haul.
They called us every day, but
always called us, and always had joy in their voices, the pair of them. Mom would tell us what they seen that day, or where they went, or if they had a close call with somebody not paying attention, pulled out in front of the rig, or how many spoons she bought that day. But it was getting to the point that we were missing them. They were gone that long, and Dad retired. Well, Dad's heart got bad, so they chose to retire and move to Portapique. I mean, it's a gorgeous spot, quiet spot. The dream is something like this, and especially in a spot like that. But even to think about it happening in Nova Scotia, I mean, it's not just the province that's there hurting with us. It's all Canada. It's all U.S. I've had people reach out to me through Facebook and Messenger. People I've never heard of, people I don't know, all across Canada, and people from the U.S. It's and like I say, it's very overwhelming.
Well, we never got a chance to say goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, and with the COVID-19, it's even harder because my wife and I was there 3 weeks before that, and I wouldn't go in the house because I didn't know if I was a carrier. They wouldn't go anywhere if they were scared to death because of their age. If they would have got it, they're at least to make it through it. So I didn't want them to get sick because of me if I was a carrier. So wife and I stayed outside. They did come out. We talked, and anytime we left, we always gave them a hug. So we wouldn't hug them, and I got that on my conscience. I mean, if I would have known, I wouldn't have let go. And if it wasn't for COVID, they might not have been home. They could have been at his place, or they might have been at my house, because they did come down that time of year quite a bit. Like, it was getting close, like around Easter time, Mother's Day. They were usually at one of our places, and I mean, it wasn't far from Mother's Day. So I say there's bad. I mean, everybody has bad times, bad thoughts, but in a case like this, you block them out. I mean, like I say, if it wasn't for Dad, I wouldn't be the man I am, and same with Mom. So everybody has their choose. I mean, it's no different than me and my brother when we were growing up. We had our spits and spats and fights, and right now, we couldn't do it without each other.
Give each other a hug?
Oh, God, yes.
Give each other a hug now.
Damn right I will.
That Sunday morning in April, we were live streaming worship for the parish of St. Stephen's as news from Portapique came in. And as it became clear the human toll, I and the members of this parish family of St. Stephen's were heartbroken to hear of the death of Peter and Joy Bond and all those others whose lives were lost. Each of these, Peter and Joy and the others, were people who were put on this world, who were made in the image and likeness of God. And as they loved their families, cared for their friends and neighbors, it was the love of God working in and through them into their lives. It can be very easy right now to be caught up in questions of why, but it is even more important to remember that God's love, as St. Paul teaches us, never ends. And as we love and care for and support one another, that image of God in each of us is loving and caring for each other and will help us to see each other through. Amen. lift up my eyes to the hills. From where is my help to come? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved, and he who watches over you will not fall asleep. Behold, he who keeps watch over Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord himself watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand, so that the sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. It is he who shall keep you safe. The Lord shall watch over your going out and your coming in, from this time forth forevermore. Amen.
Amazing grace, how sweet that sound that saved and set me free. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. The Lord has promised his good to me. His word, my hopes secure. You know he will, my shield, and portion be, as long as life endures. When we've been there, 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We've no less days, to sing my God's praise than when we first begun.
Just like a river, I'll carve my own valley. Just like a mountain, I'll stand all alone. Just like a cloud, I'll uncover a sunset. This world is it, I'll make it my home. This world is it, I will make it my home. And standing by highways, I'll thumb my way over. Standing by oceans, I'll listen to poems. Standing in cities, I'll sing out the warnings. This world is it, I'll make it my home. This world is it, I will make it my home. 'Cause I've been to the bottom of fear and self-loathing. In all of that darkness, love came along. Though I still know my way down to that basement, I leave it behind when I hear these songs. I leave it behind when I hear these songs. Against the armies of darkness, I'll ride out to meet them. Against the haters and the half-baked, I'll win them with song. Careerists in power, I'll sweep out the ashes. This world is it, I'll make it my home. This world is it, I will make it my home. 'Cause I've been to the bottom of fear and self-loathing. In all of that darkness, love came along. Though I still know my way down to that basement, I leave it behind when I hear these songs. I leave it behind when I hear these songs. And lying with you, love, love will move from the center. Lying like grass, our love will grow long. Lying like Whitman, I'll love everybody. This world is it, we'll make it our home. This world is it, we will make it our home. So if fear and doubt are our greatest rivals, if action and joy can carry us along, hard work and hope trump hard luck and trouble. This world is it, we'll make it our home. This world is it, we will make it our home. 'Cause we've been to the bottom of fear and self-loathing. In all of that darkness, love came along. Though we still know our way down to that basement, we leave it behind when we sing these songs. We leave it behind when we sing these songs.
I'm president of the F.E. Butler Branch 44, Chester. Peter was a member of our branch for 51 years. On behalf of the Branch 44, I would like to extend our deepest condolences to the family of Peter and Joy. And I would like also to say condolences to all the families who lost loved ones in this tragic event.
Hi, this is Kata Enright from Barney's River. I was watching the vigil tonight and it inspired me to write a song. It's called Look at Us. We are Nova Scotia strong. We look up to a sunset painted sky. Angels fly. The air is filled with candlelight. I know it feels like we might give up and let it take its toll. Give up and never let it go. But look at us, we're stronger than we know. And tears will come and tears will go. Look at us, the waves will roll. And fear will come and fear will go. Look at us. Look at us. We are one. We're holding hands across the distance. We are one. Our hearts are bound together forever. We can't give up and let it take its toll. Give up and never let it go. Look at us, we're stronger than we know. And tears will come and tears will go. Look at us, the waves will roll. And fear will come and fear will go. Look at us. Look at us. And we're not giving up. We are just too tough. Look at us, stronger than we know. And tears will come and tears look at us. Look at us. I'm proud of us. Thank you.
I'm past president and executive large of the Royal Canadian Legion Chester Branch 44. I've known them since I was little. I grew up around the corner from them, and I was down to their place a lot when I was little, playing with Harry and Corey. And Peter would come play cards with my dad on the weekends up at the house. And I always thought of Peter as a gentle giant because he was so tall when I was so little. But he was a very kind man, and family meant everything to him. She was a sweet lady, always smiling, always cooking and cleaning and looking after Corey and Harry, and we had lots of cookies and ice cream. She made the best homemade ice popsicles.
Nova Scotia lost its innocence on the weekend of April 18th and 19th, 2020. And it was the result of Canada's worst mass shooting. So unimaginable that something like that would happen in a tiny community called Portapique. That is something that is in our minds forever, whether you're from Nova Scotia or have a connection to Nova Scotia, and it spread throughout Canada and of course the world, because it was something that none of us could understand. And what we have to remember is that those were people. Those were people that, like you, myself, that had dreams in their lives, and that they laughed, they cried, they had plans with their families, with their friends, and in a swift moment, it was all gone for them and those families, and they have to try to deal with that for the rest of their lives. And those individuals were also very important community members. And that's the one thing that we know, that when we hear Nova Scotia Strong, it's about our communities and how we come together in order to help each other. And this is why we are here this evening, because we wanted to look at the fact that they are people and we've lost them and the families are dealing with them, and we're trying to hope that this creates a healing process. We'll never ever be able to take the scars away, but if we're able to come together as communities and help in that manner,
Too soon to leave this earth, how could I ever be gone? Ash to ash and dust to dust, seems to me you've just begun. When breathing raise my soul, there's comfort in the prayer I find. Though these candles honor you, they burn for those you left behind. I'll sing for you because I need to. Right now this is all I know. You always said you wanted me to. So I will sing you home. I will sing you home. Know that you will live on the lips of those who knew what it was you had to give, and what it was me too. So I will sing you home. I will sing you home. I sing for you because I need to. Right now this is all I know. You always said you wanted me to. So I will sing you home. I will sing you home. I will sing you home. I will sing you home.
Memories are priceless treasures that we can cherish forever in our thoughts. Healing renews and restores our human spirits. We hope our communities remember video sharing the memories of Peter and Joy Bond in honor of all victims and first responders has provided steps towards healing. While creating and organizing the Bond tribute, we discovered so many amazing connections between people and communities throughout our tiny, beautiful province who knew a victim or family member, a friend, a colleague, or just a sense of connection because every beautiful soul taken was a special person making a life in Nova Scotia. There is a long journey of healing before us, and it will be our connections, support, and love that will hold us together as we move forward. This is what makes Nova Scotia strong. Sincere thank yous to the community's Remember volunteers, video production team, musicians and participants, our donors and sponsors, Harry and Corey Bond and their families. To the 22 victims and unborn baby and their families, you will be always in our memories and hearts, and we hope each day you are able to walk a little further on the healing path.